This is probably the best long-distance cruiser yacht on the market right now. Why? Because she has only the second owner since new, and he invested over 700,000 euros into this yacht. She is meticulously maintained, and a lot of smart updates are improving her comfort drastically. And now more of this in the video. Today I'm in Greece on board the Terranova 85, a long-distance cruiser yacht built in 2007 with the beautiful name ANNAMIA. So let's start the tour right here on the bathing platform in the aft. Basically we are here on a surprise because the owner installed a flotation box that's acting as a storage. But the main thing is to improve the buoyancy at the aft of the boat. That will actually make the boat glide through the waves much nicer because of the more length. It's actually faster, more efficient, so low fuel consumption, and this is giving a really nice and smooth aft wake behind the boat, so everything is improved for comfort, and it's also much calmer to go through the waves. And then the owner has installed also two more modifications, which is basically like bilge keels and a skeg keel in the middle. So because of the height, the boat was used to move and roll a bit more, and with these installations basically it holds the course like a train and does not roll a lot. And then even without the stabilizer switched on, which they are both hydraulic, so you really have a lot of comfort on this boat. And this was of course approved by the official engineer Inigo Toledo, who is basically the engineer who invented and built Terranova yachts. So here on the aft you see this door, and this leads actually to a little workshop, and then through the door you can go to the engine room, and of course up the stairs you go to the very spacious aft section, to the cockpit, which is also on this yacht. You notice how beamy she is, because she's actually 7.14 meters, which is about a meter beamier than other yachts in the 80-foot range, and that gives her of course a lot of volume. And then looking at this generous cockpit space, you see that everything is nicely tidied up. The workstations for the winch and the cleats, is everything nicely arranged, and then also the lines can be put through those rollers. And then here's the force station actually, because there's another station on top, and then also there's stations, there's like wing stations, and then the owner even invested into a dockmate, which is basically a remote to control the engines, the anchor winch, and both hydraulic stern and bow thruster. So yeah, what else can we say? Here's a little nice sofa bed that you can lie down and enjoy the beautiful view. And also I like this beautifully minimalistic window, from which of course you see the in the saloon you can enjoy the view. So let's go inside. Yeah, let's enter the saloon through these glass sliding doors, and immediately you'd notice the very yacht-like gentleman's club wooden interior. For me this is really cozy, and you see the white panels on the ceiling, and then obviously you can just relax and unwind when you think in this comfortable sofa. And then you have a lot of you just want to start reading a book here from that spacious bookshelf. Actually not even ever gonna get up because the view is amazing here with these big windows. But yeah, I want to show you the yacht, so I better get going. And then obviously here's some space for coffee machine, then you have lots of arrangement and storage space. Then over here you have a TV on a rise and fall mechanism, more storage space, and you see the beautifully crafted windows that let in a lot of natural light, but they don't actually put down the classic line of the yacht, yet it feels very spacious. And then it's extreme how much space you have, how generous it is, thanks to this 7.14 meter beam. And if we continue, we have on the starboard side we have access to the side deck. Then we have here all the technical equipment, all the fuses, and then you have more fuses up on the helm station. So for the techies of you, very interesting. And then obviously you have the staircase leading up to the upper deck and to the guest area. Here the galley is separated by this sliding door. I find this very practical in case you want to have your silence if you run the boat with crew. Then in this galley you have everything that you need. You have a professional melee stove and also oven, the big one basically, I just call it. And then look at this view. That's one of my favorite places because I really like to cook. And imagine preparing some food, some nice meals for your loved ones, for your guests, and then enjoying the view at the same time and having a little drink, and then just really relax here in the kitchen. And also there's a lot of access through this side door. And then the owner decided to basically kick out the dishwasher because he's just using the boat 2 or 3 people. And but this can be reinstalled very easily. All the connections, everything is there. And then for the cold storage, we have a big American fridge and freezer combination, and down here we have this wine cooler, and then lots of storage. And I said I find it very practical to have this access to the side deck, so in case you run it with crew, they can basically sneak to the front deck, to the crew cabins, or go to the aft and reserve. And then also this one here is basically some additional space where you can put the plates, so you have additional countertop spaces. Now let's check out the front section of the yacht, where you have this very, very spacious, generous dining area with a huge table. Of course you could put much more chairs here, but that's a nice and generous setup. Again, beautiful beautiful windows with basically 180 degrees sea view, and then you also see the front deck, and you really feel on a much larger yacht. In my opinion, this, for me, it feels like a 30-meter yacht, and that's of course thanks to the beam and the generous layout. I think it's really, really well done. So let's go upstairs and check out the helm station. Here's where every yacht fan's eyes are beaming. Look at this tidy and explorer style helm station. This is a workplace where you have absolutely everything. You're fully in charge, fully in control. The nice big wooden steering wheel, and then you have all the flags nicely stored away, the engine levers with the MAN engine control displays. Then you have your hydraulic bow and stern thruster, and also at the same hydraulic system you have the fin stabilization system. And the owner actually just invested in new Raymarine dual displays for the chart plotters, as well as a new 55 watt open array scanner, radar scanner. And then you have here the new autopilot, the old one, so you have redundancy, the wind and the depth, the multifunction displays, all the fuses, so you really feel like in a commercial grade yacht or airplane. And then you have super nice overview here, and then this pilot seat allows you to actually really relax while having a long distance cruise and still observing everything out there. And you also see the bow here, so you really have a nice feeling for the whole like the dimensions and the length of the yacht. And one thing it's important to mention is actually this one here, the dockmate, which is the remote control. You can control the anchor winch, the bow and stern trusses, and obviously also the engine. So you can put this on and then go everywhere on the boat and control the whole yacht basically from the comfort of this remote control. And also the rest of this helm station, very spacious. You have nice access storage space, and then obviously here this little neat table to eat all together or put out a chart while cruising long distances. Oh, I really love it, you can tell. From the helm station we go through this door into the upper deck saloon. Here you have a beautiful day head with lots of natural light through this big window. I absolutely love how the sun is flooding in now at this early evening hour. And then over here on the port side we also have this little desk as an office. Of course I would get distracted a lot with this amazing view. And then over here we have the sofa, also cozy, and then a bookshelf again to put some lamps also on the sides, and I think that's a really cozy little upper deck saloon. And then here we have also the sliding doors with 3 parts. You can really open up and let the fresh breeze come in. Now on the aft upper deck exterior you see how generous this yacht is laid out. With this little cushion down here you have some sunbathing space, and then over here is a table and a bench module. And there's lots more of these bench modules, actually I think like another 1, 2, And then that's the third one, or maybe it's 4 modules that are actually stored in Italy in a storage. And you could also have a massive table set up here. Everything is still stored, but the owner prefers it to be set up like this because it's more cozy and he doesn't need to have so much guests on board actually. So I really think that's a nice little setup. If you prefer to have a massive one, then of course all this is included in the price. Then on this nice shadow giving bimini top, you have solar cells, which we can see from the top. So give me the camera, and actually we're gonna have a quick look going up these stairs to the so-called flybridge. And here you see the solar cells, the solar panels, and also the new Raymarine radar scanner. And even up here, generous deck with some storage in this bench. And also the forward area, you see a little table, so you have many al fresco possibilities to soak in the sun and actually enjoy the view. So far so good. So we've just been here on the upper deck, and while we're here I really want to point out how practically this yacht is set up with the full walk around deck on the upper deck level as well. And here we are at the helm station, back where you have on the starboard side and on the port side of course these doors, and then here's the starboard side wing station. So this yacht has a total of 6 control stations. So you have on both sides one of these on the top deck, then on the aft you have one on the top deck, also in the aft where the flag is, and then on the main deck we saw also the third station basically. And then inside of course is the main helm station, and then you have the dockmate. So in total that makes a total of 6 control stations. And then you have really the strong rail, so that gives you a lot of security. And then also here this nice little storage box, which makes it nice to sit down and have a morning coffee or enjoy cruising with this yacht. And then when we actually look down to the forward deck, we see how pragmatically this is laid out. You have the storage box, you have the space for the safety equipment like the life rafts, and then the Opak Mare crane, the hydraulic crane, where you can lift the tender into the water. And of course you could also have another tender jet ski here in the front. And then you have the fender storage down here, so everything is nice and tidy. And if we look a bit further to the front, then you have the basically hatch going down to the crew cabin. Nice little table, so the anchor arrangement, you can really work around everything here. So that's the benefit of having a sturdy, solid Explorer yacht like this. Now let's also check out the lower deck with all the guest cabins. So coming down the stairs, you also have some storage space underneath the stairs, and also access to technical systems. And then let's go check out directly the master cabin. And you see this 7 meters of beam. It's very generous, very spacey. And then you have the bulwarks where you can actually have the windows opened, lots of fresh air coming in. And then behind me is the ensuite toilet and shower combination. And you have a toilet and you have a bidet and lots of storage, a sink with the natural stone surface. Then the ceiling height here is around 2 meters 5. I'm 1.88 meters, so that's a good 20 more centimeters. And then basically here you have the shower, which is a little bit like I would say 1.95 meters. And then here you have the generous bed, again some natural light on the starboard side coming in, lots of storage, and more storage over here, more storage down here, which is very important on a boat. And then of course a little sofa and desk setup. So let's check out the corridor to go further to the front, where on the port side we have this twin guest cabin with the storage lockers here, and then also ensuite shower and toilet, bathroom, really nice. Again, same concept. And then over here on the starboard side, another twin cabin. Every cabin allows you to have fresh air inside. Then here is actually kind of a day bathroom also for the guests, which is accessible by both sides. And then nice little surprise over here is this cleaning and storage locker, where you have your washing machine and drying combination. You can put all your cleaning product and of course your towels. And then obviously The biggest guest cabin here is the forward VIP cabin with natural light coming in, and then also the storage space. And then if we go over here, we have the ensuite shower bathroom.
If you're wondering where the access to the crew cabin is, look down here at the foredeck. Through this hatch, you can actually access the crew cabin, which originally was 2 crew cabins, but this one has basically 1 large crew cabin with a big shower, 2 beds, and actually it's quite spacious for a crew cabin of a yacht at that size and age.
So let's check out how to operate this crane. You have this remote, and then it's important to have this ropes, and this one is a neat little trick because with this line you can release the hook once it's in the water. So basically with the touch of a button I can make the crane go out so that we have a bit more space, and then I can actually let this go down. So let me guide this a bit better in this direction. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoy launching a tender with such a hydraulic crane. So easy. Now we need to make sure this actually goes down. And now you see the question is how to release this, right? Because otherwise you would need to be on the tender, and then with this line you can actually unhook it. Isn't that amazing? And that's a nice little trick from the owner, because he's a very smart, clever guy who really loves this little marine gadgets and tricks, and that just makes your life so much easier. So of course now we need to check out the engine room. So let's do this. Through this hatch and the aft we go down into the workshop, and here you have everything you need to have proper spare parts, everything, all the cables. And then we see here the double MAN with 730 horsepower each. And then look at this, there's a lot of redundancy. So for example, here you have a manual diesel pump in case that fails. Over here we have the bilge pump, the manual one. We have a second bilge pump which runs on 24 volt. And then we have a special bilge pump, which actually I see for the first time, which is something where you need to really know how to operate. You first need to put some water into that, it actually gets the suction, and then it's driven by this belt from the engine, and then you need to switch here, and then it actually gets out the water from the bilge. And then of course you have in the bilge, all in all you have many bilge pumps with flotation switches. And then over there is the new generator. I think that was installed 2023 with 35 kilowatts actually. Then you have here the fresh water filtering system from the tanks, and then on the faucet, on the tab in the kitchen, you also have a Brita water filter, so you can actually drink the water in the tanks. And then the stainless steel tanks were also made new. Then the exhaust system was made new in stainless steel. Then over here you have the air cons and a new water maker. So you actually see then over here the old generator with 25 kilowatts, and it's pretty hot, but all these facts are super important because you can really see that the owner invests a lot of money, a lot of time and love. Everything is tidied up, everything is running in perfect condition. He really invested to keep that boat, to improve the boat basically every single year. And also he made like a hydraulic overhaul of the stabilizers, has new hydraulic hoses, and he has the solar panels on top. So I think, yeah, you really can jump on a very well working boat with a lot of redundancy and security in that regards. And also on top of us is actually like a hatch that is kind of a layer that you could take out of the deck. So in case you would need to change one of the engines, you don't need to kind of rip open all the boat. It's already there. It's like a hatch that is bolted on, but you can just remove it. So you can have actually access with a crane and then lift out one of the generators or engines. So it's really maintenance friendly. Everything is very well accessible. Yeah, I'm actually a bit sad to be at the end of this video because this yacht really touched my heart, and also I can see how much love the owner invested really over the years. Every detail he improved, like all the pumps, he changed a lot of systems, all the hoses are written, what it is for, where it goes, what it does, which switch, which valve does something, which fuse is for what. And it's really an amazing opportunity to actually step in a ready long distance cruiser yacht, ready for a new adventure, and you can just jump in, take over a running system where everything is perfectly maintained. And then if you're interested, just give me a ring, send me a WhatsApp. I'm very easy to reach and talk to, and I would be delighted to give you a personal tour. So thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to to hit the subscribe button and the bell, because we really need you as a follower so we can keep on producing content like this. Thank you very much again for watching. We speak yachting. Let's talk.